Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sue Ham's Business and Motivational Call. You know, we started this call on Wednesdays for a reason because it's the middle of the week, and most people either tend to slow down or just quit. And so we wanted to start a midweek call to continue to keep people motivated and pump out and accomplish their goals. Now, if you've been with us for a while, you may have noticed that we took a little short hiatus. But listen, we are back and we are bigger and stronger than ever. And if you are new to this call, I want to say welcome, 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 and thank you for participating. This call will happen on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are one of the loyal listeners, we appreciate you for hanging in there with us. My name is Salandia Hammond, a.k.a. Sue Ham Baby, and I am excited to be here, man, excited. On today's call, guys, we've got some great information prepared for you. But before we get into the actual call, I just want to say welcome again. And also, guys, to tell you, I just got back, right, from Miramar Beach, Florida, with my business partner, Terry Clay, who is my guest today on the call, from doing our mastermind, Business Explosion Mastermind, where we took a group of people and stayed in a 7,500-square-foot mansion, and we taught them several different things from publishing their books. We actually had a lady that left the mastermind, a published author, and she actually sold copies of her books while at the mastermind. We had several people to create their own products. We also taught how to make money online and how to create your own membership site, and also about creating your own events and creating speaking engagements. And I'll tell you, we had so many people that were really, really interested in how to create their own events. I said, you know what, Terry, when we get back, right, when we get settled, I think we need to kick off the Sue Ham Business and Motivational Call with that information, because a lot of people are sitting around waiting for people to call them to either speak or teach. And I was like, I think that you should share your expertise of how you got started, which was you didn't sit around and wait for people to call you. You actually created your own thing. So it's the reason I wanted to do this particular show today. It actually came out of our Business Explosion Mastermind that we just got back from. And, guys, if you stay tuned to the call, I'm going to tell you how you can join Terry and I in Mexico, baby. That's right. The Business Explosion Mastermind is heading to Mexico this October, and we are, again, taking 14 people with us to stay in a 17,000-square-foot mansion. We will have a staff of 9 people to serve us, from housekeeping to people to do our laundry, people to prepare our food, our pool boy, and we're going to tell you how you can be a part of that. And for some of you that are jumping in your seats right now, let me just say, go to the website, businessexplosion.net. businessexplosion.net, but we'll give more details at the end of this call. You want to be a part of the Business Explosion Mastermind. So without further ado, let me get into my guest today, who happens to be my business partner and who happens to be my friend. Her name is Terry L. Clay. She's also the startup business coach. She's a blogger. She's a course creator. She's a speaker. She creates events. She has her own radio show. Terry just does it all. She travels the world, speaks, and recently we just got back from empowering 7 entrepreneurs and helping them to create products and helping them to explode their business. So I am excited to have on the call this morning the startup biz coach, Miss Terry L. Clay.
Hey, hey, hey. Great introduction. I love it.
Thank you. Terry, for somebody who may be on the call may not be familiar with your story, and I know I'm going to be asking a lot of you, but can you try to condense your story in about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, give people a brief history of where you come from, and then we will get into why people should create events and some events that people can create rather easily. All right?
All right. So my name is Terry Clay. And just long story short, I started my life going to school to become a nurse because of the encouragement of my family, who are full of college graduates. And I thought that that's what my mission was and my purpose. And I did go through a 10-year journey to become a nurse because of that, and I hated it almost as soon as I graduated. And then I went through a journey of entrepreneurship, knowing that it was my purpose to become an entrepreneur, but that journey was not easy. So I lost things. I had to live in an abandoned building. I went through some trials and tribulations for that journey until, honestly, because I created my own events. It's crazy how I'm doing this introduction, and that really was my breakthrough for me, starting to create my own events. And when I did that kind of got me out of being homeless and living in an abandoned building. I created my own events, and it kind of got me out.
Wow. Now, I don't know if you guys caught that. Terry went from, nursing to abandoned buildings, living in a Greyhound bus station, and what got her out of the mess that she was in is creating her own events. Now, I often say you need to create your way to the top. And what I mean by creating your way to the top, I mean create events, create products, create avenues to get up out of the valley. So, Terry, thank you for sharing your story. And because you went through it, you lived through it, you made it through it, I didn't think there would be anybody else better to have on the call than to explain why it's important to create events. Now, if you would, just tell the listening audience why you feel it's important that they should create events. We already know that it helped you to get back on your feet, but what are some other reasons people should create events?
Okay, one thing is, my vision for my life was always to travel the world, to get paid, to be, go to this place and that place, be a speaker, help, entrepreneurs to grow. So I always had that vision, and I always had the vision to travel and get paid, really. And so at first I got my first thing was, let me go and, do these speaking engagements and, try to get people to hire me. And I did that for a minute, but I'm a little impatient, so I don't I don't do much waiting. I don't like to wait. I can make my dreams come true myself. So what I did hire a coach. One of the things in my story is I hired a coach when I lost my car, and I had a choice to get my car out of impoundment or to hire a coach, and I took my last and hired a coach. But one of the things that coach told me to do was to put on my own event. And she taught me more than that, but that was what stuck in my head, to put on my own event part. And so even though I had started kind of building up a network and on Facebook and social media and those type of things, I realized that I needed to take matters in my own hands. And if I wanted to travel the world and get paid, then I just do it myself. And that's when I put on my own tour. And I just did 2 cities at first. And so I guess one of the reasons, the reason is if you don't want to wait for speaking engagements, wait for somebody to call you, create your own destiny. And that means put on your own stuff. You don't have to wait for somebody to call you and hire you and put you up in the hotel. Put your own stuff up in the hotel and put your own event on. So,
and I'm
Go ahead.
I love that. It's like, why wait for somebody to call you? You have the gifts, you have the talents, you have the power invested in you. So why are you sitting there waiting on someone to call you when you can take action and create your own event? That is a great tip. And if you guys don't get anything else from this call, that right there, I hope will move you into action, because a lot of times we are waiting on people to save us when we have the power to save ourselves. And, Terry, to somebody who may be listening to this call right now, they may say, oh, yeah, I got the knowledge, I can do it, but I don't have the resources to put on my own event. I know that there are some things that you did while you were in Atlanta, Georgia. You didn't necessarily have the money up front. And I know you have a course. You have a course that you're going to be teaching to give people some great tips. So don't give it all out on the call. But if you could address how someone who has little to no money could still put on an event, a successful event.
Okay, one thing, this is going to be taught in my course in depth, but you have to do some sort of networking, because you're going to have to build your network. You're going to build the audience that you have. And I moved to Atlanta, so I didn't know anybody, so can't say that, we went there and you knew all these people, and no, I didn't know anybody there. But I did go out and I made my life happen. So what I did was I would go and just network with people. Atlanta has tons of networking events, so that is a great way just to go out and shake hands and get people's business cards and kind of connect via networking. And so if you want an audience, if you want to have an event, you're going to have some people there, but you got to kind of build those connections. And you can build connections on Facebook and those types of things, but if you want to be that lasting impression and stick, you might have to go out of your house and go shake some hands, and that way you're building up your network. So the thing is, I didn't know anybody in Atlanta, so nobody can tell me it can't happen. Now, they don't know enough people because I didn't know anybody there, but I still was able to put on sold-out events, packed events. Anyway, so that would be one thing. And another thing that we do if you just have a low budget is to kind of do some joint ventures. And joint ventures is more so, I believe it's just the explosion of any event. I mean, me and Sue went together and did the Business Explosion Mastermind. I mean, that's another joint venture. It means that if you don't know what joint ventures is, it means you get with somebody else and kind of connect and build your audience together, or put, some people have a stronger quality than you have, and you all merge those two qualities together. But that would be a great way to, if you don't have a budget or you don't have much, is to kind of grow the audience. Because in order to really get those, an events going, you got to have some people coming. So you're definitely going to have build your audience, or start working on a way to build your audience.
So I love that. And what I heard is you have to get out and network. And secondly, you can do joint ventures, partner up with somebody. Let me just tell a funny story here, Terry. You've heard it whenever we've spoken different places, is that one of the things I've always said is that I don't really work well with women. I joined the military, not just the military. I joined the Marine Corps so that I can be around the majority of men, because I just felt like a lot of times I just didn't get along with women. That was in my younger days. Now I get along with everybody, okay? I'm a people person. But the funny thing is, I told Terry, I said, outside of my sisters, I never really partnered with women. And one of the great things I can say about partnering with Terry is that it has strengthened my business, because, like she said, there are things that I'm weak in that she's strong in. There are things that she's weak in that I'm strong in. So totally, joint ventures is a great way to be able to put together an event, especially if your resources are limited. Second thing you said was networking. That is so true. On yesterday, I went out to book a venue for an event that I'm having here, April 25th, the Social Media Dominance event. And here's the thing. Had I not gone out to the venue, now I could have done this over the phone, right, giving my credit card. But had I not gone out to the venue and actually talked to the guy who booked the room for me, I would have never known that they had a monthly networking meeting with business owners in the area. And he was like, yeah, I want to invite you to it because, you're doing a social media seminar. They need to be at it. He said, because they're not on social media. And, I was like, what? Because, I was like, had I not gone out and talked to him and told him about my event and whatnot, I would have never been privy to that information, nor would I have been given an invite to be able to come to a meeting with other business owners who could benefit from my event. So I really love the fact that you said networking. Guys, Terry and I are huge people behind the computers. We do a lot of stuff behind the computers. But the truth of it is, when you can marry networking and internet marketing, then you're going to be really, really successful, because nothing beats a handshake and a smile. So great tips, Terry. I love that. Now, moving into the second part of the call, okay, we've learned why we should put on networking events, right? We learned that we shouldn't wait for people to call us, and we learned how we can do it on a limited budget, at least some of the ways. Guys, if you want more of this, you're going to have to grab Terry's course, and she'll tell you at the end of this call how you can grab her course. Now, Terry, what I want to ask you is, can you throw out some ideas here on what type of events can be created? Because, some people may be thinking, only hair and fashion show, or, something else. Can you just throw out some ideas of what type of events can be created?
Well, I'll give you events that I created, and then I've done 4 different events, but I'll give you 3 of them. One I did was called a vision board party. I actually went on tour and went around the world teaching people to do vision boards, and that was just my niche, I guess, my thing, or I guess that's the thing that I was in at the time. and I wanted to help people do vision boards and live their life on their own terms. So virtually, they came to the event, and I'm a speaker, so, I kind of did some speaking. But I also had a little entertainment for them while they were doing vision boards. And it was a huge event because I sold food there.